So let's start with some basics at this point. What exactly is the scrappage policy? Now, it is a program by the government which is basically to replace old vehicles. Commercial vehicles more than 15 years will have to be scrapped if they do not clear the fitness and emission test, and private vehicles more than 20 years will have to be scrapped if they don't clear that test as well. The objectives are pretty simple. This is a policy which will help us phase out the unfit, polluting vehicles at this point, and this will also be our bit to encourage fuel efficiency, environment friendly vehicles also to come and replace them and take their place as well. This is also a policy which the government has pitched will create job opportunities as well, and the government has given a number to that at this point. About 35,000 jobs to start with is what the minister has said will be something that they are looking at. The policy is also expected to boost demand for new vehicles. This is a tried and tested formula in other countries as well. Several countries sort of used it to boost in their economies as well, especially in these trying times. And then it is a policy expected to reduce oil import cost at the same time. While I mentioned other countries, USA, Germany, Canada, other nations have also got similar vehicle scrappage policies at this point. And then, well, the big factor why we're all talking about this in the first place is the climate emergency. Now, the latest report by the UN, which highlighted code red for humanity, also went out to make some very strong statements. One of them being that human influence has warmed the climate at a rate that is unprecedented in at least the last 2000 years. So really, we all need to do our bit to try and encourage this. The Prime Minister also, while announcing this policy, had talked about how startups, young people in the country need to be thinking green and thinking huge in terms of investing and working towards this project as well. But in order to encourage this, there are several incentives that have been proposed, and I know all of you are interested in knowing what exactly is that. Well, let's lay them out for you. Manufacturers can give up to 5% discount for buying new vehicles at this point. Zero new registration fee if you have scrapped your old vehicle. That's a big one really over there. And states can give up to 25% rebate on road tax for personal vehicles and about 15% rebate for on-road tax for commercial vehicles as well. This is also reduced maintenance cost is what the government is pitching at this point, and increased fuel savings as well, as they're saying will happen for you and I. And in order to dissuade you from using old vehicles, there are some disincentives that have been proposed as well. For example, the states have said that there could be levying of an additional green tax if you decide to keep your vehicle for longer than the time mentioned. Automatic deregistration of unfit vehicles will obviously happen, but if you decide to keep it further, there will be further tax that you're paying on your vehicle. Now, however, there are some exemptions to this. For example, hybrid and EVs, well, they stand to be excluded from this policy. Vehicles using alternative fuels such as CNG, LPG, ethanol, all of them stand to be not part of this policy as well. Farm and agricultural equipment such as tractors and harvesters, they also do not come under this policy. However, this is the controversial bit really, and we'll get into that in our debate as well. But then the government is saying that there are several projected gains at this point with this policy. They're saying the turnover boost for Indian automotive industry altogether. They're saying this will promote new technologies, environment-friendly vehicles will come in, decrease in India's huge crude oil import bill as well, and new investments will come in, and job opportunities, of course, that will be created. However, having said that, there are several challenges at this point. For example, to start with the most scathing one, infrastructure testing and scrapping centers. Do we have enough really? We've got some numbers for you which we'll share on the program as well, and that's not looking very pretty at this point. And also a simpler vehicle deregistration process, I believe that is also something that stands as a huge challenge in the way of this scrappage policy. But remember, the timeline for that, which is very crucial, this will start with April 2023, and other categories of this is for heavy commercial vehicles, that is, and other categories excuse me, personal vehicles for instance will start in a phased manner from June 2024.